once again to the Saturday Breakfast Show for another hot edition of this week's tea. And today, joining me, I have my little co-host. We're even color coordinated and everything, all for you guys. How is it? TV. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the state of Alabama has officially banned abortions. Dookie, can you behave? Thank you. So they have banned abortions, and this is sad for everyone because these white men up in cabinet are just doing the most. I mean, like, how the heba? So what must happen now? So they don't care if you were raped. They don't care what the situation is. You just are not allowed to have an abortion. And I feel like that's not fair because, first of all, how is it that old men are making decisions for women and what to do with their bodies? Secondly, can you imagine like how traumatic it must be to be raped and then being forced to raise that child? Guys, we really have to do better. Like, the world is just okay, I'm sad, but oh well. Keeping with our international news, Huawei, who are we? And how do you say that? Anyways, that's not the point. So they are gonna lose any updates on Android. So, you know I have a theory, right? You know, that conspiracy girl. I honestly feel like Apple is behind it because remember when Samsung came out with that bomb phone just before they released the iPhone X Max whatever, then all the Samsungs were like blowing up in people's faces, like the chargers were just exploding and nobody knows why they were exploding. And now, you know, the Huawei P40 is like outperforming the so please excuse me. So the iPhone X has been outperformed by the Huawei P40, and now this breaks. So they won't be able to get updates, any Android updates, and I just feel like Apple needs to get its coin, so they're just gonna cut out all the competition. And it is what it is. What can I do? Okay, in local news, there's another sex tape scandal. Leonard Vitbian, he was caught up in like a sex tape scandal that was all over Pornhub. I'm sure you've seen the video. I haven't seen the video because I'm just not into that type of thing. But anyway, so he is now coming out and he is allegedly saying that his ex is the one who uploaded the things that must be done by Amai. How is it, Bunjira? Oh, you don't like that we're talking about pornography? Okay, sorry. We'll be done now. Okay, so he is basically saying that his ex-lover is the one who uploaded all the tapes onto the internet. So now, you know, like revenge porn, it's always females. Like, it's usually boyfriends that, like, you know, release female sex tapes. So this is like an interesting, you know, change of events because now it's a man and I don't know what's gonna happen. So I guess we'll just have to watch and see. So one of the teachers in Oshakati has been sentenced for 3 years because he was caught in a bribery scandal. So this man has like a lot of cases basically against him. Like, you can read it, it's all over the news. So if you want to know like the details of like what he's being charged for, you can go ahead and read on that. But I'm more interested in the bribery scandal because apparently he promised police officers. Actually, one of the things that he was being charged for was impersonating a legal practitioner or a legal officer or something like that. So then he tried to bribe his way out of the charges. So then he was caught. He promised the guys he's going to pay them 7,000 and he only paid them 1,000, and then he was, my dear Amangwa, then and there. This is, I think, a good case because like in Namibia, dockets tend to disappear a lot. So maybe this will be like an example for everyone, and maybe this can also sort of lead an investigation into the actual police officers that actually do make a way like these dockets disappear. So yeah, I think it's a good thing. So former Brave Warriors goalkeeper Denzel Brewer has been, wait, I don't want to get my facts wrong, so let me read, honey. Was denied bail on a charge of housebreaking with the intent to steal and theft when he appeared before the Swakopmund Magistrates Court. Now, honey, I am busy. The economy staffer, things are not going well. Huh? I mean, if goalkeepers for our national team are resorting to thefts and breaking in, honey, cool rough, chomi. Cool, rough and tough in this economy, Turimonai. Anyway, so we're gonna end off today's show with some very sad news. Our Vice President, Dr. Nikki Yambo, has passed on. It's very unfortunate, it's very sad, especially because these stories are becoming more and more. Like, we just lost our king and now we're losing that vice president. It's like it's gonna create like a huge gap in leadership, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Hey, I mean, with the upcoming elections, hopefully, like, new leaders can step up, young leaders, because our country needs like young, fresh blood, to take this country to the next level. We appreciate Dr. Yambo for all that he's done for this country. He's definitely a hero for many, many people here in Namibia. So our condolences to go out to him and his family, and may his soul rest in peace. So that's all the tea that me and Dookie have for you. You'll be very, very excited to find out who our guest is today. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his and I love everything that he's doing. So stay tuned for that coming up right next. Good morning. Today I'll be your chef. My name is Geneva Crow, and today I'm going to prepare for you guys a classic green salad with my favorite meal that I love to prepare is a chicken Gordon Bleu for that brunch type of feel. So today we have chicken fillet, some bacon, some lettuce, 2 eggs just because it is breakfast, some feta cheese, and some cheese, that extra cheese that will go on my chicken fillet. And yes, some toast on the side in case you're extra hungry and you need that good source of fiber. So what I'm preparing first will be the chicken because it takes quite a while to make. I actually marinated this in the morning. If you want to marinate it overnight, you can, but you don't really have to. Since we're working with our hands, I'm going to be putting this chicken in with my hands. I wash my hands beforehand, and basically we marinate the chicken in salt, pepper, chicken spice, so it's going to taste quite well. You can either add parsley if you want to, just to give it that extra color. Next thing we're going to do is my bacon. Now to bacon I don't add anything, no salt, no pepper, because bacon is just naturally salty. Fried eggs. We're keeping it very classic, very simple. And my trick that I actually like to do, I actually like to fry my eggs in the same pan that I fry my bacon in, because it gives the egg like a great flavor, and it's just really nice. I like to use probably Gouda cheese. I like cheddar cheese. This basically will be sprinkled over the chicken so it can melt. You just want to cover your chicken breast with the cheese so it kind of melts over. Since we want the cheese to melt, we're going to cover it with a plate just so it melts on top of the chicken. This is kind of like a technique that I learned.
my favorite part, and my favorite part is plating. I really enjoy plating. It's all about decoration. And actually, a secret that I've learned, which is not a secret anymore, is the more attractive your meal looks, the more inviting it is for people to want to eat it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the cheese into quite small pieces. I love being very, very specific when I plate my things. What I'm going to add to my salad, I'm going to add some tomato, some cucumber, but I'm going to plate it really, really well so it looks really, really nice. With cheese, I normally just like to sprinkle it on top. I toasted brown bread because brown bread is just healthier. I'm going to plate it in a way of like, if you do maybe want to add butter with it, you can add butter without actually like destroying the whole presentation of the meal. Basically my classic chicken Gordon bleu with a twist that I made, and a classic green salad that goes well with it with some extra toast.
Good morning and welcome back to the Saturday Breakfast Show. And today we have Namibian creative jack of all trades, most popularly known as Zulu Boy, creator of Guru Vintage.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing very well.
Well, thank you for being on our show. You're like actually my favorite guest because I'm such a big fan of your brand.
Wow.
I'm not just saying that
Yes.
for really, and I love the name, like the whole. So, okay, let me keep quiet
Yes.
and ask you, what inspired you to start the whole very vintage brand?
As growing up, I just wanted to inspire people.
Yeah.
When
Growing up, but you seem like you're young.
very young.
What do you mean growing up? You're not even grown yet. How? Just don't.
Yeah.
Tingini?
As growing up,
Yeah.
as a child back in the hood.
Yeah.
Katutura.
What hood?
Yeah,
Katutura.
Katutura. Yeah.
Okay, the real hood, not the rap hood.
I grew up there.
Okay.
So my life was a bit, I should say, complicated. I grew up in Windhoek and also grew up in the north. So
Okay.
in a way, I represent
The
both.
best of both
yeah,
worlds.
the both. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
So then I always wanted to come up with something crazy, something new, something something extraordinary.
Yeah.
When I went to university, after finishing my university doing visual art,
Mm-hmm.
I came up with an idea. Why can I not come up with something that is a bit unique?
Right.
Something that stands out.
Yeah.
I don't want to be looking at what other people are doing.
Uh-huh.
So then I came up with a whole collection.
Are you a fan of like vintage? I see
Yes,
this is like
definitely,
vintage
yeah,
inspired. So
definitely,
you
yeah.
yourself, it's part of your aesthetic.
Definitely. I'm a musician.
Oh,
in a
okay.
group called Dance Flow.
Oh,
So
nice.
the whole transaction from the
Uh-huh.
first album, we are working on our fifth studio album now.
Wow.
We have been following this trend
Okay.
to having as a vintage look.
What do you want people to see or take away when they see your brand?
Well, Very Vintage came up. We are now 2 years.
Okay.
2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and my partner Carlos put it up. We came up with an idea of what can make out stand
Stand out from the rest.
Yes, from the rest.
Okay.
So we came up with a name. I came up with a name.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to represent. People always thought Gweri is that person that is not,
Yeah.
is not that nice person.
Yeah.
It's not well associated.
Kubiteko.
Kubiteko
Eh,
toch,
kubiteko
asabli
toch.
toch. Opo.
Tell us.
From there, I was like, I'm a Gweri initially.
Yeah, I'm also a
because
Gweri.
at the end of the day, I want to be, I want to associate myself with everyone.
Yeah.
You understand? Opo Guzambono, we came up with the name Gweri.
Yeah.
And then after coming up with the name,
Uh-huh.
we came up with ideas on how can we, come up with products
Yeah.
that everybody can associate themselves with. So I wanted to represent my people
Yes.
because sometimes we feel
Omake. I love
sometimes
it.
we feel I shouldn't do this because I'm not obligated to do it. You
Yeah.
understand? Sometimes, for example, when we come to a restaurant, you have to follow what other people are doing.
The
use
Western.
yeah, exactly. But from back at home,
Yeah.
that's how we are.
Yeah.
So that's
We
why I always
shouldn't
try to
be
be ashamed of. Yeah,
of-
definitely.
yeah. Okay.
So sorry, please allow me to be
No,
myself.
please. I'm really serious. Like, I really love this, and I always say this, especially to. It's such a great message that you're
Yes.
sending, especially to kids, to see that look, there's nothing wrong with you.
Exactly.
Whatever you identify yourself as.
I came to understand that being original is the best thing ever a person can be.
That's true.
So that's why I'm always being myself wherever I am. That's why I brought up with the whole concept is to be original.
Right.
We try so hard to copy what other trends or other people. To be honest, I respect so much the South African people.
Yeah.
That's where my name comes from, Zulu.
Zulu.
They thought I was Zulu also.
I actually thought you were Zulu.
No,
'Cause I was like,
Mati
Zulu Boy,
Wondonga said.
Wamba Wachike, and then
Mati Gondonga.
yeah, right, no.
So, what I learned from the Zulu people
Uh-huh.
or the South African people, I should say,
They're very
is
true
the
to their
fact
culture.
they are true to themselves.
Yes.
They are not fake.
They are not.
What is there? What is
Yeah.
there is what they take on board.
Yeah. One of our great Namibian leaders, Nki Yambo,
Yes.
has passed away. What do you think about that? I mean, just a few weeks ago, the Ndonga King also passed
Yes.
away.
Definitely. I don't know him so much closer, but what people are saying, he was a very, very, a very
He was a
humble
great
man.
leader.
He was a great leader,
Yeah.
and very. He was a leader in a way that he doesn't show himself.
Yeah.
When he comes to a
He no
place,
more.
he no more. He's just himself.
Okay.
So then I also take that from. At my point of view, I also
Yeah.
look at that as a big thing.
But that's
as
part
being-
of
yeah,
Utakuwetu.
exactly. Yeah.
Inokara wishi.
Yeah.
Inokara
You-
ifupika.
just be yourself.
It's in our
Just be
it's in our
yourself.
culture. Yeah.
You don't have to be someone else.
Yeah.
Be yourself. What you have, keep
It's
it
fine.
yours. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
We don't need to know what it is.
Kangana we ashtama puko, so
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was quite a good leader, I should say.
Uh-huh.
Condolences to the whole family.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask about this teacher.
Yeah.
Since you said talking to each other and stuff.
Yeah.
So this teacher, Shakati,
Yes.
he is going to jail for 3 years because he tried to bribe a police officer. Now the bribe was initially, it started because he had like some other cases, that he was dealing with. So he tried to bribe the police officer to get rid of the docket. Now you're talking about let's talk to each other and stuff. In a case like that, do you think, because this is Namibia, dockets disappear all
Exactly,
the time. So they basically trapped him.
Oh.
Yeah. They set up where he was bribing the police officer. He said he was going to give them 7,000, but he only gave them 1,000, and then he was arrested then and there.
So I always say corruption is not a good thing. What the teacher has done is
But
definitely not.
his argument is that he's going to lose his job. That was his argument. That's why he tried to bribe the police officer.
Corruption is not the best way.
Yeah. So it's wrong. There's no excuse. Is
Corruption
that
is
what
not
you're
the best
saying?
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no excuse to corruption.
Yeah.
If he has done something wrong, let him face it and then overcome it.
Yeah.
Because in life, we always have to overcome things. There's no way.
Yeah.
I know he's gonna lose his job, but maybe he was supposed to lose his job for a few
For a
years
few years. Yeah.
and then get back.
Yeah.
Which that's how life it is.
Yeah.
So I would say I don't support corruption at all.
Okay.
I don't highly support corruption. In my case, if there's an opportunity for him to come back and become a better person,
Yeah.
that I think that option was better.
But staying in politics, so Operations Hot Crunch, now Kalahari Desert. What's
When
your,
I heard-
what's your take?
When I heard about the new Kalahari thing, I was like, hey, I think it's snipers.
I don't know.
I don't know.
After then,
Because at the end of the day, I don't have a problem with the whole operation.
Yeah.
But I had a friend a few days ago. He was also through the whole getting
He
beaten.
got beaten up.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was coming from a gig. He's a creative, and then he just asked him, "What happened? Where are you coming from? What are you doing
Yeah.
here?" Pa. He didn't explain himself.
Omanga.
But I think they should understand we are human beings.
Yeah.
If there's crime at a particular event or so, that is fine. But as a normal person, I have
As a normal
yeah,
civilian, yeah.
let me at least enjoy my comfortability.
Exactly, because
and-
that's also infringing
yeah.
on my rights. You can't
Exactly.
just come and beat me just because I'm in Nandikopia Nangwe. Because there was
So
also
I'm not
one.
I'm not against them,
against it.
But it's just that
I'm
the fact
against it.
it's just the fact that they should at least have a limit.
No, I'm really against it.
Because-
I don't. Okay, na ituromburene kucha umorash keshata mekera.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna beat me, then dayo nashi.
I heard it's about fighting crime.
fighting crime where
But
these
the-
people,
but
they
the
come to
thing-
the clubs and they beat up drunk people for
Exactly.
no reason. It's,
So-
I honestly don't know what is the purpose. If maybe Tate Tunga could maybe tell us and have like a press release and
Yes.
tell us, Kucha, this is why we started it, this is why we're doing this.
Yep.
Maybe I honestly feel like it has something to do with the upcoming elections and all of that. I feel like we're moving backwards. Sorry, I feel like we're moving backwards where it's like we are instilling fear in the people,
Yeah.
and I just feel like it's completely
So
unnecessary.
I believe there's so much we can do.
Yeah.
And I
Other
don't
ways,
understand why
alternative
we
ways.
have to-
Hot currency ni mambia nayo makakunyi ni mayo nane.
Exactly.
Like those are things that our parents
can't
went
they
through.
go to the venues where it's spotted it's not safe to walk?
Thank you. Thank you.
If for example, if Evelyn Street is spotted as a
And
number one
everybody
crime,
knows. And everybody
exactly,
knows.
why can they not operate there
Yeah.
24/7?
Okay, so let's go a little bit outside our borders.
Yes.
Are you a fan of like phones? Of course you are. You're,
Yes, definitely.
Of course. Okay,
Yes.
so Huawei.
Yes.
I don't know. How do you say that?
Um,
Huawei,
yeah.
Huawei,
Also, this is
Huawei,
my special Huawei.
Katoshe. Yes, I'm about the Katoshe. Everybody needs a Katoshe in your life.
Exactly,
Hey, Unashe
man.
Katoshe, please.
Lifesaver.
Dude.
Ah,
Okay, so let me just, I don't want to get it right, so let me read.
Yes.
Huawei will immediately lose access to updates to the Android operating system, and
Yeah.
the next version of its smartphones outside of China will also lose access to popular applications and services, including the Google Play Store and Gmail app.
Yo, it's very sad for Android users.
Mm.
If the bigger guns see that there's a threat somewhere, they try
Yes,
to
and that's
eliminate,
exactly what they're doing. They just take
which is gonna affect us obviously.
Of
So
course.
I'm so sad about the Android users. I'm also an Android user with my Katoshi, but yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this abortion ban in Alabama. So they basically banned abortion. They don't care if you were raped or whatever. It's illegal to have an abortion in the state of Mississippi. What do you think about that? Alabama, sorry, my mistake.
It's a very sensitive story to say. Unfortunately for the ladies, I feel for them because they go through a lot of processes and they go through a lot of pain. So it has two side effects.
Okay.
Some would say yes, it's good. Some would say it's
But
not. good.
tell me, why would someone say yes, it's good?
The fact that a child a child is a very important aspect
Yeah.
in life. you
Right.
understand? Losing a child is it's painful, obviously. Being, for example, if I'm gonna be a father, then I heard my child is aborted. You understand? It makes me feel bad. You understand?
Right.
On the other side, but on the other side also, in case of being a person being raped, it's also another problem.
Yeah.
It's another trauma. You
Yeah.
understand?
Imagine
So,
as a woman being
yeah.
forced to carry
exactly,
a child that,
yeah.
that you were raped.
So
How is that
I
gonna
think
affect you?
they are supposed to look at it in a way of how it's approached. You understand? In a case of being approached in a hard condition, which is rape or so, then there should be measures taken.
Yeah.
But if it's just normal abortion, I don't think it's
Okay.
This
This is my opinion. I honestly feel like men should not be allowed to make decisions for women because you have no idea what it's like for women. Number one, to be
Yes.
raped, to carry a child,
Yes.
none of that. Especially in our country where we have such high numbers of teenage pregnancies. The girls have to drop out of school,
Yes.
and now this poor
guy goes
the guy goes to school and
continues,
continues,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
nothing happened. Men deny their children all the time, so I feel like men should not. And this board that decided to ban abortion, there was only I think one woman sitting on
Serious?
that, on that whatever. And I just feel like men shouldn't be allowed to make decisions about women's bodies. Give it to the women so that we can decide what we want to do, whether
But
we
the
want
thing is
to
that
have.
you guys are too harsh.
What do you mean we're too harsh? Let
You-
me tell you something, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. As a woman, there's no woman who, on purpose, wants to kill
Yeah,
their child.
exactly, yes.
Even if a lot of women, I know a lot of women who will carry their children, even if economically or their financial situation is not so good, they'll carry their child. There's no woman.
So which
I
means
believe,
abortion is brought to effect that there's consequences
there's
involved.
consequences involved where I
Oh.
literally cannot take care of this child. I'm unable to, and I feel like it's better to get rid of a child. And
Yeah.
I don't think that it should be a man's decision what to do with my body.
Yes.
Very unfortunate. It makes me very sad. But yeah, I guess on that note, we have to end. But before we go, tell us a little bit more about what you have, planned for the future.
We have products, we have clothing,
Nice.
and we have a lot of stuff. Wait, before I also finish it, before my career this year, I was at the culinary school
Oh.
at NAST. And I
Wow.
should say this, this is a very big
No,
help by
We
Box
try our
Cafe.
very best, to please our,
Yes. No, but-
esteemed
yeah.
guests.
It was very, very nice.
Did you enjoy it?
So, anyways, getting back to the whole Gary Vintage collection, we want to grow out big,
Global.
global,
Yeah.
internationally. And the message that I have to my people is go out there,
Do the damn thing.
don't delay yourself and tell us the economy is down. What? The investors won't help you if you're not helping yourself.
Right.
So help yourself first. Come out big, and then everybody will look up to you, and then they will help you. With
Right.
all that. Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
Yes.
Inspiring words from the man himself, Mr. Zulu Boy. And tune into our Money Matters coming up next. Banks generally evaluate credit applications on three basic principles, namely integrity, repayment ability, and security. This week we will focus on one of these basic principles. So, Eddie, tell us, what do you mean by the value of a good credit history?
Well, when you buy a home, a car, leasing an apartment, or getting a job, all of these may require a credit check. Credit grantors, such as banks, make use of a credit report as issued by a credit bureau to determine your credit worthiness. And they look both at past and current credit behavior. That is why having a good credit history is so valuable.
And how do I go about establishing a good credit history?
Well, begin by opening a credit or savings account in your name. Over time, your deposits, withdrawals, and transfers will demonstrate that you can handle money responsibly. You can also apply for a loan or finance an asset, but be aware of the costs since the payment of interest is applicable. Another option is to open a clothing account, but start with a low balance and pay your account regularly. You can also apply for open 30-day credit account at shops where you frequently buy goods. For responsible users, these credit accounts are a useful tool. All charges are due in full every month and no interest is being charged.
Is there anything that I could do to jeopardize a good credit history?
Loan payments are noted on your credit report, even if you pay it later. You must pay your installments as per initial arrangement. Using more credit than your arranged facility will have a negative impact, and it might incur necessary costs like penalty fees. Not paying your loan or asset finance is yet another example. An unpaid installment reflects negatively on your credit report and places cash flow pressure on yourself when you need to make more than one installment payment next month. Banks and other lenders also take into account your total debt when considering whether you qualify for additional commitments.
Tell us, what are the advantages of having a good credit history?
A good credit history will make it easier to obtain credit, and favorable terms and rates can be negotiated. Good credit is always an asset and a valuable tool to build wealth for you and your family in the long term.
And say, for instance, I have a poor credit history. How do I go about to improve it?
Well, Nkula, there's a couple of steps you can take. Firstly, recognize your problem, stay in contact with the credit provider, and try to negotiate new arrangements, like payment extensions or a new payment schedule. You must immediately stop taking up new credit and ensure that you can afford your monthly repayments. Try to catch up on your arrear installments and keep to your arrangements you made with the credit provider.
Well, thank you so much, Eddie, for being here. I definitely learned so many different things. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Nkula, for having me.
All right. And my viewers at home, I hope you all learned some very valuable tips. I know I definitely did, and I hope that you will apply it. Until next time. And that brings us to the end of this week's episode of the Saturday Breakfast Show here at Box Cafe. So we have to go. But before we go, you stand a chance to win a pair of Gary Vintage's latest socks from the newest collection. And all you gotta do is answer one simple question: who is the owner and founder of Gary Vintage? And if you can answer that simple question, DM us on Instagram at the Saturday Breakfast Show. Let us know if you're paying attention. And from us, that's a wrap. Ciao, guys.